Hi everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Saturday to you. Hope you're having a beautiful and fantastic weekend. We're of course looking here at Bitcoin, helping you understand the best practice, the big picture of course, and what might happen this weekend. More so looking at the micro data, the smaller time frames to identify, because we're generally familiar with the larger time frame and understanding what that looks like. Obviously we'll look at everything, but generally speaking, the micro movements is more so what we're focused on today. And just keep in mind too, to preface, this weekend, like every weekend, is typically pretty slow. Okay, and that's mainly because the traditional markets are closed and there's not a lot of volatility. And with the futures and everything essentially being closed for the weekend, they're usually down for about a day and a half. You see this kind of quiet, calm time frame right now. That's where we're at right now. So it's all well and good. So if you don't see any amazing action this weekend, it's pretty standard. Obviously, you're probably familiar with that if you've been watching for a while, but if you are new to the channel, just know I love teaching people to trade. So I hope that you can learn something here today. If you want to learn a whole heck of a lot more, CryptoCache.tech has a website, link in the description below, of course, where you can join to be part of my trade signals, trading community, and trading university as well. I basically teach you everything that I know. And if we just take a look quickly here at Discord, you can see our most recent signal today. We took a good 30% off of Ethereum on our first profit target. So still got 4 more to go. Really cool stuff there. So again, check that out. That is part of the, kind of included in the whole package. Also to preface as well, just so you know, prices are going to be increasing as of January 1st, 2023. It's weird to say 2023 out loud, but next year essentially things are going to be shifting essentially because I got a completely new website being built and a handful of other things. So be sure to check that out. Obviously in your own time, if you want to lock in your rate before then, sooner the better, of course, before the year end. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right in here to Bitcoin and just kind of talk about what's going on. So on the 4 hour, we can kind of see that it's not doing fantastic, but it's also doing well. And what I mean by that is we saw this nice strong bounce off of this support level at about 18,800, and the price has pretty much come up ever since, but it kind of got stuck out at 19,250. Now we can see the price kind of coming down as well in the 4 hours. So generally speaking, that's not fantastic, but it's not unusual either. Okay. What I mean by that is, today being kind of low volume, Saturday, it's pretty normal for prices to adjust a little quicker than usual, just based on the fact that there's more manipulation on the weekends because there's less manipulation on the weekends. I know that sounds totally crazy, but what I'm getting at is that the market movers are not really trading on the weekends. So with that low volume, you can see the price action move up or down faster sometimes because of that. So it creates a unique kind of volatility. All right. Now, generally speaking, right now it's nothing to really concern ourselves with. It's still going to be low volume and probably not a lot of action, but generally speaking, we can see on the daily we're still under 50 on the RSI, and then of course the MACD still hasn't really converged or diverged at all, right? So there's not much to really note here on the daily. Kind of like I mentioned before, not a lot of changes there. But if you take a look at the 4 hour, we can kind of see that the price is kind of stuck within and pretty much just got rejected off the 50-day set moving average. Is pretty standard. The 200 is trending right around 19,300 as well. So that's a key level of resistance we need to break above. As I mentioned yesterday, if we close above 19,300, we'll probably be in good shape to see a continuation higher. We haven't closed above that yet, so I don't have a full-on confirmation that I want to take a long position with Bitcoin just yet. Either way you look at it, we can kind of see a Fibonacci retracement level here close to 19,100. It seems that the price action is kind of trying to consolidate right in this area here for the moment. But the key takeaway is that we haven't made higher highs yet, and we still technically haven't made higher lows either, so there's nothing here in the kind of letting us know that we're in good shape on the 4 hour. If we look at the MACD, we can kind of see that it's kind of dying off a little bit, but still converging, so to speak. But you can see that momentum is starting to dissipate. Obviously, with the most recent 4 hour candle, that is the case. But if we take a look, of course, at the RSI, we can kind of see that we got a potential bounce off of 50, but it's still not holding. So again, generally speaking, we want to trend above 50 on the RSI in the 4 hour. That'd be positive. So if this candlestick continues to close lower or we just go down lower, we might see potential bearish divergence here. But generally speaking, you can see this definitive line here right about 19,250. There's been about 5 or 6 hours in the last 24 hours where the price has gotten stuck and rejected at that point. That tells me there's not only a strong resistance there, but also a potential break to the upside because we keep retesting that consistently. So I'm going to keep my eyes on 19,250. I would say once again, just kind of reiterate yesterday, same thing holds true today. A close above 1930 would be fantastic, or 19,300 rather, okay? So that's what we want to pay attention to and look for. Looking at the 1 hour here, we can kind of see where we're at here, this is the reason why I pretty much felt comfortable taking a long position with Ethereum yesterday, because we're traveling above the cloud, and we do have essentially the conversion line still above the baseline, but you can see that momentum is starting to dissipate, so it doesn't look fantastic in that regard, plus the lagging spans intersect with the price action. So if you were to say a conservative trader, this would pretty much be saying that you want to trim your position or essentially close your long position, because it's hitting that resistance as we've already identified, and essentially it's losing its momentum. Okay. Now we're still above the cloud, excuse me, and the likelihood of it maintaining above the cloud is pretty high, because you can see the upper and lower lead are trending right here at the Fibonacci retracement level of 19,100 as a close approximate, or just say 19,000 even, because that's pretty much where the lower lead is. Okay, so between 19,000 and 19,100, we have a support level based on the cloud. So the likelihood of it continuing to progress above that and go higher is greater. Okay, so if we do see a pullback here soon, sky is not falling as long as we close above 19,000. As I mentioned yesterday, same story. We'd want to kind of continue to maintain that price point. A closure below 19,000, I think, would kind of be a foreshadow of potential downside, but I do feel like we're in pretty decent shape staying above 19,000. Preferably a close above 19,300, but you can't ask for a lot on a weekend, honestly. Just kind of, it is the way that it is. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there in that sense. All in all, pretty decent stuff. The last thing I want to highlight here, of course, as well, would be TD sequential, and just quickly noting that we did come up to a 9 on the hourly. So it does imply that we're kind of exhausted here, and a pullback would make sense. Okay, so I'm not saying we're going to just drop like a rock, but if we do it, we have a nice pullback, perhaps even some sideways action, we leg up from here, that'd be appropriate. It would make sense the price would come down to about 19,000 and bounce. That makes a lot of sense right now, but what we're hoping for is the price doesn't come any lower than 19,100, because that's the most recent low, and we'd be establishing lower lows at that point if we do that. Okay, we want to stay above 19,100. It feels like it's going to want to stay there, but again, we hit this exhaustive state, the price is selling off a little bit there, there's not a lot of buying pressures for now, so it honestly could go either way. So again, to summarize, closure above 19,300 would be kind of a tentatively bullish indication, and a closure below 19,000 even would be a bearish indication. So anywhere in between, which would make sense, is essentially not really a big deal. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at there. Last thing I want to kind of mention and highlight too is that I'm super thankful for all the folks that have so far been able to follow me on social media. So I just want to ask a quick favor. If you could follow me on social media, link in the description below, all the links are there. If you want to kind of stay abreast on some things there, it's a really cool opportunity to be able to kind of stay familiar and up to date on things. I'm really trying to work on my social media presence. Last but not least too, of course, if you're not currently trading with Bitget, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You're using a feeble exchange. No offense to KuCoin or Bybit, they used to be favorites of mine, but Bitget takes the cake. Not just because I'm partnered with them, but the main reason why I partner with them, keep in mind, is because they offer phenomenal prize pools monthly. So we got this $10,000 prize pool, absolutely something you want to take a look at. Here in about 8 days, a lot of my members are going to be paid out pretty significantly just for trading on this exchange. Some have higher profit and loss ratios, some have are based on volume, but you can kind of see here it's a tiered approach where if you get a good profit and loss ratio, you take some cake, and you also got a good amount of volume, you take more as well. Okay, so awesome stuff there. And there's also, what, if I'm not mistaken, early bird rewards. There's up towards $1,000 bonus if you do register here soon. Again, a lot of positivity there, but some of my members here are just absolutely killing it. So keep up the great work, guys. I really appreciate you. You're real awesome. And I'm thankful to have you in my life. It's really awesome to be able to share all this with you. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day. That's pretty much all I have for now. And I look forward to working with you if you decide you want to join. If not, that's cool too. At least register with Bitget so you can get part of that prize pool money. It's really easy money. All right, have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.